I designed this sign to put in our car window. And I made 3 of them back and both sides. And so we used those until we found out that they were illegal to put them in your car window. Well, before she didn't want to use the sign, and then we were going on a turning left, and there was 2 lanes, but there was a lady behind. She saw the signs. She was able to, because Jessica pulled over too far, was able to pull into the gas station and avoid an accident. And so I'm like, okay, see why we're using the signs. And then we had people on the freeway honking and, you know, on all this, and we didn't have them in that time. And so I had them with me, so I immediately reached back and started putting them in the windows. And then the guy saw the signs, and he kind of was like, you know, sorry, you know. But I told her from now on we're using them. There was articles in the Hilliard News showing our sign, but it says, Mom says beginning drivers need them, but officials say they're illegal. And then we got the idea to change the law to allow the window signs. And that was a long process, 3 years it took us to change that law. And Jessica was the first junior in high school to be able to go before the House and speak to try and get this law changed. We needed protection. And then you pay, back then I think it was $75 or $100 for professional training. Well, they had signs all over their cars, and they had a brake in the front, and you know, they were protected. You know, we were not protected, and we had 50 hours of training. And we said that in our testimony, and they agreed, and I think maybe that's hopefully is what changed their minds to let us, you know, have them until 2004, Governor Taft signed the law into, signed the bill into law on Jessica's birthday. So January 7th in 2004. And that was like icing on her birthday cake that year, because we'd worked so hard to get that done. If you see something that's not right or it needs to be changed, don't be afraid to try and change it, you know. I worked for the Ohio Public Defender Commission for 30 years, and that's what we do. We defend people, and I think this is kind of defending other drivers and you know, our kids and ourselves when we're in the car with a teenager.
Our message to parents is simple. You hold the keys in creating the next generation of safe drivers. Over the last few years, we have really focused on increasing parental involvement in driver education. We know that parents are the #1 influence on their new drivers, on the behaviors and the skills that they're going to acquire and show behind the wheel. Within the last couple of years, we launched a campaign called Teach Your Teen to Drive that really focused on parents being that #1 influence on their students. TeachYourTeenToDrive.ohio.gov is really a one-stop shop of resources for parents and families as teenagers begin to drive. There's a roadmap that walks parents and guardians through the full process of getting a license for a teen driver, from the permitting phase, the driver training program, how to find a driver training course, to the GDL protections that are in place once their new driver has their initial license. The website also has a parental orientation that really provides a guide on this process for parents and gives them the information they need to really get started on the right foot, because we know that when parents are better informed and more equipped, they're better equipped to help educate their new students and get them off on the right foot. In September of last year, we launched the new Road Ready Ohio app, which is a tool that parents can use to log the 50 hours of practice time with their new driver that all new drivers under the age of 21 must have in order to get their license. Once the 50 hours are logged, the parent or guardian can print out the affidavit with the driving log of all of the practice time and sign it, get it notarized, and take it into the BMV with them in order to get the new driver's license. The app also provides real-time feedback after each drive using the telematics of the phone to provide resources on what the student needs to work on still, what they did well on, and tips and recommendations, as well as lessons that both the student and the parent can use in order to practice those drives and those behaviors behind the wheel. Since the app was launched in September, it's already been downloaded more than 16,000 times, and we know that it's being used by Ohioans already. Ultimately, our goal is to reduce teen-related fatalities and crashes by empowering teen drivers to make safe choices behind the wheel. We want to strengthen our relationships with communities, schools, and parents in order to help them become an influence in making sure that those teens make those right choices to keep them safe.